Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York. New York Times World News.
March 23, 5 o'clock America, New York. Ukrainian commanders frustrated with slow pace of Western tank deliveries. For now, they are holding on with inferior Soviet-era tanks, but relish the idea of taking on the Russians with modern Western battle tanks. Servicemen from the Atom Battalion preparing to head toward the front line near Bakhmut, Ukraine.
New York Times World News.
March 23, 5 o'clock America, New York. West African commandos trained to battle terrorists by land and sea. As terrorists move south through the Sahel, the Pentagon's annual Flintlock exercise reinforced the rule of law in a region roiled by coups. The waterborne mission included this year reflects rising concern about security in the Gulf of Guinea.
Washington Post World.
March 23, 4:28 America, New York. On tour in hell, wounded Ukrainian soldiers evacuated. Their hands are blackened and grimy from the fight.
Mirror World News. March 23, 4:11 America, New York. French protesters throw live crabs at police during bloody clashes at fishing rally. Hundreds of angry fishermen gathered in Rennes, France, to protest worrying recommendations made by the country's Council of State in relation to the costly carbonization of the sector.
Washington Post World.
March 23, 4 o'clock America, New York. In Scotland, making whiskey with energy from wind, wood chips and tides. Scotland's whiskey industry is trying to go net zero. It's not easy.
BBC News World.
March 23, 2:52 America, New York. Local court sentences Rahul Gandhi to jail for Modi joke. The opposition leader was convicted for comments he made in 2019 about PM Narendra Modi's surname.
Time.
March 23, 1:56 America, New York. What to know about the uranium-based ammunition the UK will send to Ukraine. Washington. Russia threatened to escalate attacks in Ukraine after the British government announced it would provide a type of munition to Ukraine that Moscow falsely claims has nuclear components.
BBC News World.
March 23, 1:20 America, New York. Living with water pollution in Guatemala. A look at one waterway clogged with rubbish as the UN Global Water Summit takes place.
BBC News World. March 23, 1:01 America, New York. Australian PM unveils key proposal for constitution vote. The national vote would debate indigenous reforms, and the first constitutional change in nearly 50 years.
Washington Post World. March 23, 1:01 America, New York. Ex-New Zealand soldier who helped veterans dies in Ukraine. A former New Zealand soldier who co-founded a charity to help struggling veterans has been killed in Ukraine, authorities said Thursday.
New York Times World News.
March 23, 0:57 America, New York. Your Thursday briefing. Legal cases involving Donald Trump. In a photo released by the Ukrainian government, Volodymyr Zelensky met soldiers near Bakhmut.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines. Sky News.
March 23, 0:26 America, New York. France national strike over pension reform. Why are workers so angry? A national strike is taking place in France after President Emmanuel Macron's circumvention of Parliament to pass the divisive pension bill which would raise the retirement age by 2 years. Macron.
Time.
March 23, 0:08 America, New York. Arizona court declines most of Kari Lake's appeal over governor's race. Phoenix. The Arizona Supreme Court has declined to hear most of Republican Kari Lake's appeal in a challenge of her defeat in the governor's race, but revived a claim that was dismissed by a trial court.
Time.
March 22, 23:30 America, New York. Student suspect still at large. What we know so far about the Denver high school shooting. Police are still searching for the student who allegedly shot 2 Denver high school administrators after they found a handgun on him during a routine search prompted by the pupil's behavioral issues.
RT World News.
March 22, 23:24 America, New York. U.S. to build new military base near South China Sea. Beijing said countries in the Asia-Pacific must not allow themselves to be coerced or used by Washington.
Mirror World News.
March 22, 23:03 America, New York. Horror as girl, 3, found drowned in primary school toilet with foul play suspected. Langolum Vicky had been reportedly missing for an entire day before her body was found drowned in a pit toilet the following day on March 7 at Glen Grey Primary School in South Africa.